Okay, so you've decided that you want to buy a BMW M6, but you want something more comfortable and more luxurious. Well, that's where the Alpina B6 Gran Coupe may be the car for you. Now, before we get started, I want to give a huge thanks to Jim at The Unique Car Guy for letting me borrow and review this vehicle for you all today. As you know, Jim has some of the most unique collection of cool cars that you can buy at a really reasonable price. So if you guys are in the market for a slightly used vehicle, specifically this one, then definitely reach out to Jim at The Unique Car Guy. I will put a link in the description below. This specific car is for sale for just under $55,000 and it has 32,000 miles on it, which is an absolute steal considering the original MSRP of this car is over $120,000. I also want to thank Salty Detailing for detailing this car for me to review for you guys. It definitely wouldn't look this clean if it wasn't their touch on this vehicle, and I'll put a link in the description for them below so that if you guys are in the area and interested in getting a detail on your car, you could reach out to them. So what is Alpina? Well, they are an auto manufacturer out of Bavaria that has partnered with BMW over the last 50 years to create some of the most high-end, high-performance vehicles that BMW has to offer. In fact, they hand build the 4.4 liter V8 out of this car to produce 600 horsepower. And the interior is extremely well upholstered with high-end leather. And to finish it all off, you have the Alpina badge on the steering wheel to dignify that you are driving something much more premium than a regular BMW sedan. Now in today's video, we're going to discuss 5 different items. The first is practicality, the second is safety and security, then we're going to go over the interior and exterior features and quality, then we're going to talk about the performance and handling, the exciting stuff, and then number 5, we're going to go over some of the hidden and peculiar features specific to the Alpina B6. Let's start it off with practicality. Based on what I was saying earlier, you can probably guess that practicality is one of this car's strengths.
While a BMW M6 may not be for everybody due to its rough suspension, loud exhaust, dual clutch transmissions, the B6 provides just as much power but without the sacrifice of comfort. Although this car comes with standard 20-inch wheels, its adaptive suspension means that you aren't sacrificing ride quality. There's quad zone climate control, lumbar support, and plenty of legroom in the back. Plenty of interior room and storage space, and a large trunk that can easily fit 2 or 3 suitcases. MPG is decent for a car with 600 horsepower at 15 in the city and 24 on the highway for a combined 18 MPG. Unlike the M6, the B6 comes with xDrive all-wheel drive, which means that this car is much more practical for daily driving.
Overall, I would rate the practicality a 10 out of 10. I really considered lowering it down one notch due to the lack of middle seat legroom, but then I realized there are actually 3 seat belts in the back, so you could seat potentially 5 people in this vehicle and get them from point A to point B. Now, I wouldn't recommend it since there's no legroom for the middle seat, but it's nice to have that as an option. That's much better than some of the competitors that not only do not have 3 seat belts in the back, but they might not even have a middle seat at all. So to have that as an option definitely bumps up the practicality of this vehicle.
Now on the safety side, it comes with practically everything but the kitchen sink. It's obvious that safety and security was at the forefront when they were engineering this vehicle. This car comes with the usual safety features like adaptive LED headlights with automatic high beam control, automatic wipers, head-up display, etc., etc. But this car specifically comes with the Driver Assistance Plus package, which adds features such as the side and top view camera system, speed limit information, blind spot monitoring, and BMW's active driving assistant, which includes a frontal collision warning with low-speed collision mitigation and pedestrian detection. It also includes a lane departure warning system. This vehicle also comes with active cruise control and stop and go functionality. What that means is not only can it maintain the same speed and distance as the vehicle in front of you, but it can also come to a complete stop and re-accelerate to the same speed as the car in front. I was talking to Jim earlier and he said he used this earlier this week and he went all the way from 0 to 70 miles per hour and back down to 0 without touching the throttle or the brake pedal once. Needless to say, this is probably one of the most technologically advanced vehicles when it comes to safety and security, even considering that it's about 4 years old. Overall, I would rate safety and security a 9 out of 10. Really, the only thing notching it down is some of the complete self-driving technology that you get from vehicles like Tesla, where they can essentially merge onto the freeway and change lanes. Other than that, this car pretty much has it all. Now let's start with the exterior and interior features and quality. To kick it off with the exterior, in my opinion, it's a little bit underwhelming. Considering this car has just as much power as an M6, it looks more like a standard 6 Series. They have added 20-inch multi-spoke wheels, the front fascia is slightly more aggressive to the keen eye, and the rear adds dual exhaust and performance splitter. But aside from some small cosmetic tweaks, it's just a regular 6 Series to the untrained eye. Overall, I would rate the exterior a 6 out of 10. Although the 6 Series is a beautiful car and I like the nice touches of the front splitter and more aggressive rear end and the 20-spoke wheels on the Alpina, I just think they should have done a little bit more to differentiate this $120,000 car from its $70,000 competitors. The interior, in my opinion, is where they did a much better job. Alpina adds a more luxurious treatment as compared with its M sibling. In replacement of aluminum and carbon fiber, Alpina opts for an inviting wood treatment. The quality of every nook and cranny is superb, from the leather-wrapped steering wheel to the gorgeous leather-upholstered seats. The interior is also packed with technology. The car comes with the Bang & Olufsen stereo upgrade with a 16-speaker 1200-watt system that includes subwoofers under the front seats. And like I mentioned earlier, this car also includes a head-up display, heated and ventilated front seats with active bolsters, a heated steering wheel, heated rear seats, a power sunshade, rear window sunshades, and beautiful ambient lighting. The center display is typical for a BMW and a bit small in comparison with some of its competition from Mercedes-Benz. The center console iDrive system is typical across all BMW products. The plastic buttons are nice to touch, and overall the interior looks great. The seats are comfortable and great for traveling comfortably at top speeds on the Autobahn. Overall, I would rate the interior a 9 out of 10. For its time, it's probably one of the most luxurious interiors that you could buy, aside from a pretty well-equipped Mercedes S-Class. All right, now for the part we've all been waiting for. Let's get it on the road and drive it. The Alpina B6 comes with a hand-built twin-turbocharged 4.4-liter V8 that produces 600 horsepower and 590 pound-feet of torque. It's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission and delivered to all four wheels through BMW's xDrive all-wheel drive, which is unlike the rear-wheel drive M6. This allows for smooth power delivery every time you mash the throttle. The 0 to 60 on this car is a blazingly quick 3.6 seconds for a car that weighs 4,780 pounds. The ride quality is very smooth. Even in Sport Plus mode, it soaks up bumps fairly well. You could definitely take this car on a long road trip and enjoy every pony under the hood without having your rear end regret it later. The car comes with 5 drive modes: Sport, Sport Plus, Comfort, Comfort Plus, and Eco Pro, so you're sure to have a mode that suits your mood. Handling on curves is adequate. It doesn't handle quite like a car made for the track, but that's not the point of the Alpina. The handling is more than sufficient for 95% of your needs in this car. One thing I will note is that the power delivery comes on a little late. Due to the twin turbos, there's a small delay between you pushing the pedal and feeling the power of all those ponies. If you're used to a turbo, you'll be fine, but the delay was a little frustrating at times and made the car feel slower than its specs. However, once the power kicks in, you are pushed back against your seat and there's nothing stopping you from going 200 miles per hour. Overall, I would rate the performance and handling an 8 out of 10. It doesn't handle exactly like a BMW M6 would since it's a bit smoother all around, but it's about 8/10 of the way there.
Now let's discuss some of the fun and hidden features of the B6.
To kick it off, in order to reach the lug nuts and the tire valve, you actually have to rotate the center Alpina badge on the wheels and use a special key to remove the entire cover. This cover is part of the reason why the wheels look so cool and finished. Another fun feature is that you can actually move the driver's seat from the rear seats using the control located on the left-hand side of the driver's back. I've seen this feature on passenger seats before, but not on the driver's. I also have to briefly mention the automatic rear sunshades one more time. I just think it's a really cool feature and you can actually control both sides from either door. Moving to the front seats, you can see the illuminated green button. That's actually for the massage function on the driver's and passenger side. Now, the massage feature doesn't actually do a deep tissue massage or even a vibration like you would expect. It actually just moves the seat cushion in a rolling type fashion to provide continuous movement so that your legs don't fall asleep or lose feeling as you're driving on long trips. Another cool little Easter egg is the Alpina badge and the model name that's engraved right above the center arm console near the sunroof. Seeing this just makes you know that you aren't driving any regular old 6 Series. Also, after the car has been sitting under what BMW describes as a deep sleep, the car is reawakened with a fancy Alpina graphic on the center display. We couldn't replicate this every time we turn the car on, but that's what makes it a little bit more special when it comes on. Moving back to the rear seats, as mentioned earlier, there are actually 3 seatbelts in the back, so you could potentially fit 3 people back there, as long as 2 of you don't mind sharing your legroom. Not uncommon amongst luxury vehicles, but the Alpina comes with cameras plastered all over the vehicle, from the front fenders to the side view mirrors and even underneath the BMW badge that doubles as a trunk hatch and a backup camera when you need it. They are all used to assist in the 360-degree camera angles. Also, since the 6 Series comes in a 2-door coupe option, the front seats actually have the seatbelt built into the driver and passenger seats. In addition, the Alpina is so unique that it comes with its own specific ALP-labeled Pirelli tires, just so that the bugs on the ground know exactly what you're driving. To finish it all off, I like the addition of Alpina-specific badging throughout the entire car, from under the hood all the way to the rear seat floor mats. There's no mistaking that this car is an Alpina through and through.
So what are my overall thoughts on the Alpina B6? Well, it's not for everyone. Although this car has just as much horsepower and acceleration as a BMW M6, it doesn't carry the same street presence and credibility. But that's okay. Most of the people that own an M6 don't use 75% of all its capabilities. For people that know that, they should go for this car. It has more than enough horsepower to get you from point A to point B, but it also has a lot of the luxury and creature comforts of a high-class luxury sedan. In addition, Alpina only makes several thousand vehicles a year, so owning an Alpina makes it just that much more special, especially when you can pick up a used one at this price point. If I had the option between an M6 or a B6, I would take this one.